Hello you guys, and welcome to another Napoleon Total War multiplayer battle. Well, let's go ahead and finish out these 2016 videos I got here. It looks like another 3v3, but I don't know what PR means. I think it might be Prussian Hills. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Just as I assumed, in all the OGs here on Prussian Hills, we got me, Tip, Elite, and then we're going up against Scots, Blackhawk, and General Cody. This is a long time ago, just like the last battle that will have been posted before this one. As once again, I am running as Prussia, not the Danish, as I'm assuming I have my usual worked out army. It looks like no artillery on the field, so this is probably run out 2, and now it's got the 8th life. So it's got 4 Prussian Fusiliers, 4 Hussars, and then pretty much all but Musketeers, and then a regular general staff in the 8th Life Regiment with the Foot Guards. And then probably this is Elite, maybe? But either way, they're both playing as the British, so let's go through them. It looks like one of them has, most likely, yes, 2 and 2, 2 King's German Legion Lightfoot and 2 regular Lightfoot. Then he's got, looks like a couple of meat shielding tactics. He's got 3 fencible units. He's got the 10th Hussars and a whole bunch more foot. Looks like he's got 1 or 2 elites mixed in. It's like the 88th Connaughts and the Foot Guard. Got Dragoon Guards, regular general staff, and then yeah, once again the 10th Hussars. Then we'll go out. This is Tip. I remember correctly. This is Tip. And then we'll go over here. Looks like he just got a standard 4 Lightfoot, a whole bunch of foot. 2, looks like 1 Foot Guard, 1 88th Connaught, General Staff, whole crap ton of Dragoons. Looks like a Highland Foot, some Fencibles in that mix as well. For some reason I love looking at the units in kilts. Don't know why. Always had a thing for the Highlanders. So we'll just go ahead and fast forward to the rest of the deployment phase, and here we are. Go through the opponent armies. My opponent is also playing Prussia. It looks like they all decided to play as Prussia, and my guy is rushing the hill. It looks like he's got 1 Hussar and 3 Lancers. It's quite a good chunk of different cav. He's got Silesian Schutzen, Prussian Fusilier. Looks like 2 of those. Doesn't look like another Silesian. He only brought 1 of them. General Staff, a whole bunch of Musketeers in that line. Looks like a Foot Guard, a couple Foot Guards mixed in there. And go over to my other opponent. It looks like he has some Cuirassiers, a whole bunch of Musketeers, a whole bunch of Silesian Schutzen. He only brought Silesian Schutzen. The 8th Life Regiment. Looks like he has 3 Cuirassiers laying around. He's got a whole crap ton of Foot Guard. That's mainly his army composition. And then the other opponent over here, the other Prussian, has a whole bunch of Musketeers, some Lancers, some Brandenburg Uhlans, and I'm not even going to try and say that. Some Prussian Fusiliers, Musketeers. He's got an 8th Life and a Foot Guard. He's got a whole bunch of cabs. He's got another Lutzows, Freikorps, Hussars. One of the few times we play with no artillery. So they start out the hills, so I'm going to go and fast forward through this opening sequence because it kind of is a blind stare initially until one of us attacks. As it looks like this Prussian opponent is getting a little close. You can see I have my main army composition over here. And then it looks like Tip and his opponent are about ready to get into some combat. They are. The fight has started for Prussian Hills. It's a light fight to start it out, like always. Little skirmishing. And it looks like he's kind of pushing down over here, kind of keeping that position tight. Tip's falling back already with his units. Already's had enough of that light fight. Going to fast forward a little bit longer here. Tip's doing a cav charge, and they got slaughtered before they made it to the line, but he did make it into that Prussian Fusilier unit, so it's going to do a little bit of damage before it routes. And Tip has already also lost a light foot. So it's already kind of a bit of a slow start over here on this flank. The Tip is in range, and he will slaughter them at close range. And I believe I hear some hussars charging in the background. That Prussian Fusilier has routed from the field. As he does form square. Here comes in the Prussian cav. He will get into that musketeer unit. He does get in a square though, but he's kind of in the center of it already. So a bit of a bloody fight already on the right flank over here. As that Prussian Fusilier will not be coming back from the field, being right next to the border. This Prussian's getting a little bit overzealous and quickly pushing the left side of Tip's right flank. As the Prussian cav is still in the middle of Tip's lights. They have routed. And more Prussian cav is charging in. Tip will not get that unit into square. His cav is also routed from the field. I got a little bit of combat heading up over here, more towards the left side. Some more musketeers and Prussian Fusiliers in the middle of the trees. Some really close quarters fight right here between these fencibles and these musketeers. Just a whole mass of Prussian cav. Looks like a lead sending cav unit to support. Tip over there. See, I'm prepped for any sort of charge he prepares to do down this hill. The main battle over here is mostly on Tip's flank, though. If he does charge this musketeer unit, he's more likely going to rout them immediately. Getting pounded in the middle, pretty much. Pretty bloody fight over here already. This Tip has brought up his Connaughts and foot guards already. That Prussian musketeer unit routes from the field. This Tip continues to charge to the left. He is starting to take this main flank. But here comes the 8th Life Regiment and the foot guards from the back of the map. It looks like there's another cav charge coming in hot. Either Elite or Tip. That might be Elite's unit. Kind of just got hit hard on that charge though. Didn't make it to the Prussian Fusiliers. And they just kind of got meat sandwiched in the middle of that. At this point, Tip does not have that much left already at this point. He's being fairly conservative about some units. The right Prussian is pretty well depleted as well. So it's going to be pretty much at the end of the fight. Tip's not going to have anything left, and there's the Prussian player on the right flank. While all the rest of this area over here is still at a current stalemate. Thinking not too long I'll start rushing around the flank. And see, Tip is currently falling back. Doesn't get immediately overwhelmed by the Prussian force here in the right side. Go ahead and fast forward just a little bit. believe the Prussian's going to put kind of more of a rush charge up here, and Tip's going to fall back a little bit further. So get himself a little bit more of a solid defensive line. It looks like Elite is sending a little bit of reinforcement over here for Tip. And now some Silesians are pushing up to, you know, fire at me from long distance to piss me off. Now we get in a little bit of a light fight up here on the hill. This poor King's German Legion Lightfoot's already getting slaughtered by these Prussian Fusiliers and these Silesians, and they basically layered their lights up because they can fire over the top of them. It's kind of not a very good situation for us in the light fight, and here comes some cavalry. Of course, both of my light layers are up in the front. See a couple of my men just went flying. I do get that unit into square. They do take some losses though in the charge. They pretty much just charge right through the square. That cavalry gets pretty much slaughtered by the end of it. See now Elite pushing up in the middle to try and take out these Prussian Fusiliers. He just set up his fencibles to be a meat shield. That unit has already routed. Died pretty quick, actually, and now the other Prussian opponent has sent up his musketeers to support the Silesians, a little bit more extra fire, but he decided to fall back with them. See, now I'm pushing back up my Prussian Fusiliers. Quite depleted already, one of them. Try and support Elite on the flank. But this Prussian Fusilier is going to take the volley brunt from 3 or 4 different light infantry units. Musketeers have been pushed up in front of the light infantry now. Another Prussian Fusilier has been routed from the field. I'm just doing slow chip damage to this dang Prussian Fusilier over here. Mainly Elite and Tip have done most of the damage so far to any of the opponents. I got another unit coming in. I got my musketeers firing at them as well. They're gonna die a lot quicker. You can see now they start falling back. See, now on the right flank, Tip is being pushed. Does have his fencibles up to take the brunt of the Prussian Fusilier volleys. Just as a meat shield tactic. See, at this point, I'm starting to push up to try and do more damage, which hasn't exactly worked out the greatest so far, but you can see how I have my men layered here. Sounds like I have a cav unit coming in. Yes, I do. They'll probably be slaughtered on their way there, as these Prussian musketeers are just dying off as quick as you can put them up on the line. I do a little bit of chip damage up here to this musketeer as well, and I could try to continue the charge down. I push up even further. Walking, no less. Now they're running. Well, my line's running, not the rest of them. You can see this middle bit of the hill has pretty much already been taken almost. Now I'm kind of in a bit of a choke point situation right here. Now I got Prussian Cav coming in against me. You can see there's some shots being wasted over here by these foot guards. So I continue to push up to help Elite with my lights, and then over here, Tip's finally in the final brawl with the right Prussian player. Foot guards against foot guards, and 88 Connaughts against foot guards. Another decent gunfight going on. We'll go back over here, take a quick look. Elite's kind of being hit from the other hill over here, and I push up my lights a little bit further. Now I charge my musketeers into their musketeers. My lights are still currently alive. Try and do some good damage up here, try to get these units to fall back and rout. Tip has charged his elite units into the Prussian elite units. It looks to me like they are currently winning. Barely, but they're winning. At this point, there's not that much left of this British player, or not the British, but the Prussian player. He actually still has a few 120-man units up on this hill. That's about it, though. And as you can see, I am continuing my charge down with another cav unit into these musketeers as I push my lights up. Another good solid line here of enemy infantry, though. Continuing the charge. Just trying to keep going. Tip is winning the gunfight over here for us. But he's about ready to lose his Connaughts against the foot guards because of cavalry.
Our men are running, sir.
And he did not get that unit into square against that cavalry unit. So it's a pretty tight fight on the right flank. For the most part, I still have a good mass of infantry back behind my line. There apparently sounds like a cav charge somewhere. Oh, nope. Oh, there's a whole bunch of foot guards over here, and they don't look very fun for my units. See, my lights are still doing work up here. In the middle, on the right side of my line. With elite units. I think that's Elysian shoots. It's about ready to die, and I believe that is no, that is Elite's general that has just died. Oh, maybe Elite was on this flank the entire time. Well, either way, vice versa changed their names. Happens when they don't put the names on the replays. But either way, this is apparently Elite, so let's finish it. Elite. And Scots just lost his general over here. So yes, this is Elite and Scots. And then this is probably Tip and Blackhawk. I don't know yet, we'll see. But either way, we'll just continue watching this Prussian gunfight with the British. And the Prussians are pretty much gone from this side of the map. Elite has very little left, but he's still got a little chunk of army. You can see I did fall back because of the huge mass of frickin' foot guards over here. And still two full cuirassier units up on this hillside. I'm also just wasting bullets on the hillside. So I'm also pushing up my guard units. My general's still on the back of the map. So kind of a bit of a stalemate on the large hill over here right now. Quite a bit of bodies amongst the grass. And now I'm starting to figure out if I should push along the flank or not, which I believe I'm doing. And now Elite is charging his Highlanders into those Musketeers. It's pretty much this side's going to be an uneven brawl to the death. This is where they began to say, you need to start flanking, because that hill's not going to be taken unless you flank them. I'm going to fast forward here a little bit. The Highlanders are not going to win against those Prussian Fusiliers or the Prussian Musketeers. You can see Elite's pretty much dead at this point. This is where Tip has to start sending a little bit of reinforcement over to protect his flanks to finish off the rest of Scots. And now I'm starting to send my remaining light infantry over to try and take the side of the hill, and they're already beginning to make a bit of a defensive line. Look at that poor musketeer getting shot in the butt. That's pretty much all that's left of this Prussian over here. Or musketeer left, and then nothing but cav. So at this point, I believe we actually still have superior numbers on the field. But it's at a stalemate in the fight. Been a bloody war so far. I'm pushing up to fire with my Fusiliers, and they do a little bit of damage, and here come the foot guards. We're just right outside of each other's range. Let's go and take a quick look at the battlefield. A lot of dead all around. This is a good fight over here between Elite and Scots. Does it end up an all-even brawl? So now Tip is starting to push around the flank of the middle Prussian. And I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for my opportunity. His Tip's trying to open it a little bit for me. You see, he does kind of starts an all-out charge. Here comes the remaining amount of Prussian cav they have over here. His Tips is kind of suicide charging some of his dwindled down defensible units. And I'm sending in some cav. They kind of run down Tip's cav, or Tip's defensible unit right there. Unfortunately, but I get into the musketeer unit. That one routs as well, and we're just kind of taking the hill. They don't have much left of the defense. Fast forward a little bit more. I push up my lights to start shooting this foot guard and musketeer unit. Or actually, they're both foot guards. So whichever of these guys brought a whole bunch of foot guards. We'll find out here shortly who it was. I won't actually ever know, but yeah. See a little bit of a melee fight going on over here. And as at this point, I decided to push up and charge with my remaining units on the flanks, as this battle's pretty much over. They needed me to push, so I pushed. You can see these foot guards are doing their usual work of hurting me. I'm hurting them just as badly as they're hurting me.
Our men are running, sir.
I did lose a unit right there. This unit looks like it might be the first one to go down. But we're in a nice little gunfire fight over here as well. Because I just lost another Prussian Fusilier. But they've pretty much, the flank has fallen for the Prussians. Now I'm pushing up a bit further to try and get a little bit of fire down from my musketeers in the back. They're about to fire, and I am sending in my cav, and they do make it to the line. Not very well and fast, but they made it to the line. Now my musketeers start raining down their fire.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Now I'm starting to run out of ammo on my Prussian Fusiliers. And you can see once again my foot guards in 8th life are unscathed, and I do have 3 units that are full health. Of course, there's always a couple of surviving units. But at this point we have taken the hill, and also slept there are these 3 foot guards over here which are going to get charged in the back. At this point I just charge these foot guards and they get wrecked in the charge. So one last time we'll go and take a quick look over the battlefield to see the massacre all around the map. A lot of bodies down here, a lot of bodies up here, a lot of bodies pretty much everywhere. It's a pretty decently spread out fight as well, but it was very well fought. These last couple foot guard units are still holding strong.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they
And
must break.
Blackhawk just lost his general. He must have been my opponent. It's going fast forward through to the end of this. You know, since there wasn't much left, I just charge him down. I think one of them crashed, and that's why their generals run all the way off to the other side of the map. But that's pretty much the end of the battle. I continue to chase off these foot guards to make sure they don't come back. All the way to the end of the map. Now I'm charging my general over here.
We have killed their general, sir.
That would
Now
be Cody.
they must
He made it
break.
send his general all the way over there, but that is the end of the battle. As you can see, once again, I have under 1,000 kills. I'm usually just the hold-off army and take them at the end sort of person. But let's go and look at the stats here. A musketeer 120, not too bad. Not too bad for a musketeer unit. But they got most of the kills. I got 851. Not a complete and total KD, but still decent. But thank you guys for watching this battle. Hit that like button if you like it. Hopefully there will be more to come. Peace.